There was a quick turnaround in the Antrim Senior Camogie Championship this week, with full sets of fixtures played on Saturday and Tuesday. Firstly, we'll have a quick look at those games, and then we'll look ahead to a full set of fixtures this weekend at 4 different tiers of the Camogie Championships. The game of the weekend was undoubtedly the repeat of last year's final, with Ballycastle out for revenge on the 7-time defending champions Loughgill. It wasn't to be for Ballycastle, as they were never really able to recover from being 1-4 to a point down at the first water break. After that, they coped well defensively and restricted Loughgill to a further 7 points, but they could only manage 9 themselves, which led to a score of 10 points for Ballycastle and 111 for Loughgill. Top scorers in the day were Katrine Dobbin with 1-4 for Loughgill and Kiva Wright with 6 points for Ballycastle. Also on Saturday, Cushendall got their campaign underway with a trip to Dunloy. In the end, the hosts were too strong and had the game wrapped up early as they led 2-15 to 1-2 at the half. They added a further 2-3 to their tally in the second half, which helped them to a 4-18 to 2-7 win. Top scorer for Dunloy was Nicole O'Neill with 8 points, while Anya McGill got 2 goals from the bench, with Caitlin Crawford and Emer Johnson grabbing the other goals. For Cushendall, Brogan Abram grabbed 1-4 and the other goal was scored by Ellen Leach. On Tuesday night, Ballycastle and Randalstown met in Ballycastle, and what was a must-win match for both teams. It was the hosts who rose to the challenge best, and by half-time they led by 1-9 to a point. There was to be no let-up in the second half as Ballycastle added a further 110 and although Randalstown added 5 points to their own tally, they were still well beaten by a score of 219 to 6 points. Kiva Wright continued her impressive form in the championship for Ballycastle with a haul of 112, while Catherine Mullen scored the other goal. Finally on Tuesday, Cushendall took on Loughgill under the lights in Ballymena. In a high-scoring game, Cushendall scored 3-6, but it wasn't enough against the champions as Loughgill scored 7-15 themselves. Annie Lynn led Loughgill with 2-4, while Katrine Dobbin was next best with 2-3. Emma McMullen grabbed 2 goals and Roisin McCormick got 1-3 for the Shamrocks. For Cushendall, Sinead Cosgrove got 2 goals and Brogan Abram got the other on a night where the scoreline was maybe slightly harsh on the Dáil. Despite losing heavily, there were some positives as they started well, but on the night they were just beat by an excellent team in Loughgill. In the first half, I was particularly impressed by Ellen Leach for Cushendall, who had a great battle with Maria Lynn in the corner where I was standing. She created a good few opportunities for teammates, which unfortunately they weren't always taken. But her height and her speed caused a lot of problems for the Loughgill defence. For Loughgill, it's difficult to single out individuals as they were strong all over the pitch and they looked to be deep in the bench too. However, one player that I feel definitely deserves a mention is Annie Lynn. Her return of 2-4 was impressive, but her all-round game was more than that. She's incredibly fast and her directness caused all sorts of problems for Cushendall, and she looks to be a player with a huge amount of potential. Moving on to this weekend's action and staying at senior, there are 2 games taking place on Saturday. The highlight is the top of the table clash between Loughgill and Dunloy. Both teams are coming into this with a perfect record and there's a very good chance this could end up being a dress rehearsal for the county final. Loughgill are still the team to beat in Antrim and that will remain so until someone comes along and beats them in the championship. Right now, the team with the best chance of doing that looks to be Dunloy, as they have a good panel but also some very good young players coming through. This weekend they'll be without Chloe Drain, who was sent off in the win over Cushendall last week. But with this being a group stage match and these two likely to take the top 2 places, having something in reserve for a possible meeting down the road isn't necessarily a bad thing. Perhaps the most interesting thing about this match for me is how the teams approach it. There's an opportunity to put down a marker, but because it's not a knockout match, both managements might see merit in not giving everything away to the opponent. Assuming the semi-finals are based in seedings, both sides will want to take the top spot, which will mean they get to play the team who finished 4th. So in theory, they should secure an easier path into the county final with a win here. In Saturday's other game, there's almost an element of it being a knockout match. Both Randalstown and Cushendall are yet to get on the board in the championship, so losing this game would mean that it's most likely the end of the road in this year's competition. Randalstown have struggled to get points on the board so far with just 8 points across their 2 matches against Loughgill and Ballycastle. Meanwhile, Cushendall have lost their 2 games, but they've scored 5-13 in doing so against Dunloy and Lochgill, so it feels like their firepower might make them favourites for this game. However, Randallstown will have known that with home advantage this is a game that they needed to target as a possible win when they moved up to this level after winning the Intermediate Championship last year, and they did have a better league campaign than Saturday's opponents. While the Senior Championship is always the marquee event, there's plenty of other camogie action this weekend with full fixtures in the Intermediate Championship, the Junior Championship and the Junior Development Cup. At the intermediate level, we're at the quarter-final stages with 3 games on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. On Saturday, Craigan hosts a Huckle, Virginia Oak host Cargan and Port Glenone host Rossa. On Sunday, Lochgill and Ballycastle's second teams face off in Lochgill. Craigan will be favourites to beat a Huckle, with a Huckle struggling in the league, having gone winless in their 9 games, while Craigan were able to pick up 3 wins and a draw from their 7 games. Virginia Oak won 5 and drew 1 of their 9 games in 2B, while Cargan won all 9 of their games, albeit at a lower level in 3A, so it'll be interesting to see how good they are as they step up to a higher grade of opponent. Another intriguing tie will be between Port Glenone and Rossa. Port Glenone have already eliminated Dunloy's second string in the preliminary round. In the league they played in 1B and only managed 1 win from 6 games against the top sides in the county, while Rossa got 3 wins and a draw from their games in 2A. In the final game of the round, Lochgill and Ballycastle's second teams play, and the Shamrocks won all 8 of their league games, while Ballycastle won 4 and lost 4. Obviously the championship's different though, and all 8 teams will be looking to progress to the semi-finals. In the Junior Championship, there's 4 games this weekend, with the winners of these set to join Armoy, Craigan 2, St Paul's, Loughmore and Port Glenone 2 in the quarterfinals. There's 3 games on Saturday between Resharkin and St John's Belfast, Lochgill 3 and Sarsfields and Gorton Amona and Virginia Oak 2, while the final game of the round takes place on Sunday morning between St Enda's and Cushendall 2. In league play, Resharkin won 2 of 8, while St John's Belfast won 6 of their 8. Lochgill's third team won 5 of their 8 games, while opponent Sarsfields won 1 of their 8 league games. Gorton Amona won 5 and lost 5, while opponents Virginia Oak won all 10 of their league games. In Sunday's game, St Enda's come in having failed to win a league game, while Cushendall 2 won 5 of their 7 matches. Finally, we have the Junior Development Cup, and it's one that I've been taking a close interest in this season. With only 4 teams in the competition, we're straight into the semi-finals, and the competition opens with Ballymena versus Davits on Sunday at 12 o'clock. These teams recorded a league win against each other during the Development League, with the win over Ballymena being Davits' only win, while Ballymena recorded their win over Davits and also beat Larne at home. In the other game, my hometown team, Laharnogue, face a difficult trip to play Moneyglass, who won all 6 of their games in the league. If I allow my neutrality mask to slip for a second, I'd like to wish the Laharnogue Camogie the best of luck for the game after what's been an outstanding first season. They lost twice to Moneyglass in the league, but beat All Saints at home and recorded wins home and away against Davits. They've had a long wait since their league campaign ended, but they've been getting the match practice in, with wins recorded against East Belfast and Henry Joy's and challenge matches. For many of the panel, this season was their first time playing, so the progress has been remarkable in such a short time. The numbers were so good that when they played Davits, the teams arranged to play 2 matches that night so everyone could get a game. Sunday will be a big day for the club, and nobody's in any doubt that Moneyglass will be a tough opponent. But regardless of the outcome, and I'm definitely not ruling them out here, the bigger picture is more important than the results on the pitch. Since coming back, Laharnogue's hurlers managed to win the Junior B title in their first year, and now with the Camogie team up and running as well as the return of underage training, things are looking sustainable for the long-term success of the club. Moneyglass will obviously be favourites to lift the Junior Development Cup due to their league form, and it would be great for their club to add Camogie success to the senior title that their footballers won last weekend. But as it is in Gaelic games, you support your parish, and I'd be delighted if the Larne side were to come out on top here. That's all the Camogie action for this weekend, but I just wanted to thank everyone who supported us in the early stages of this venture, with lots of individuals and clubs tagging me in various posts to help me get as much detail as possible so the videos can be as informative as we can make them. Also, just a reminder that we're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram and TikTok. So wherever you're watching this, feel free to search for Saffron Sports on your other networks and follow or subscribe to see the rest of our content.